Hello, I'm still talking on motivating your child. Now, if you're overwhelmed by the feeling that your child is not focused, your child is losing direction, your child is not planning about the future, you're careless about his studies or whatever, it might be a demotivated child, and you need to motivate this child. Now, I want to ask you seriously, what are the things you say about your teenager in front of other family members and his age mates? What are the things you say about your child? Do you say things like he's stupid? Do you say things like he's not serious? Do you say things like he's playing with his academy? Are those the things you say? Do you say things like he's lazy? Now listen to me. When you say such things, you infuriate the child. What about some of the good things that the child does? Why don't you mention such things? Because there are some good things that this child does that you never mention. Do you know that the things you say all the time, you give them power? When you keep saying those negative things about that child in the presence of every other person, the child is going to conclude and say, okay, I guess I am a never-do-well. I guess I am a bad guy. Let me remain like that. Let me continue like that. So those things you say have a way of motivating them to continue in those bad habits and lifestyles. So why don't you start to say good things about this child in the presence of others? Say some of the good things. It's not everything that your child does that is bad. After all, nobody is perfect. Certainly, every parent expects their children to be perfect. But remember when you were growing up, always give room for mistakes. Let them make plenty of mistakes. There were many things you learned, and when you were learning them, you made a lot of mistakes. Let's take riding a bicycle, for instance. You're going to fall several times. But you kept going there, and then you started riding it very well. So why is it that whenever your child makes a little mistake, you start to bark and shout and scream on the child? When you do this, you are creating a distance between you and the child. Very soon resentment is setting, disrespectfulness is setting, and you start telling everybody that this child does not respect me. Because if you're not careful, when you continue with this attitude, your child is going to label you a nagging parent. Because every time you are talking, you are complaining, you are grinding because of their behaviors, because you are always saying the negative things they do, never mentioning the positive things. There must be certain positive things that your child does. If it is just greeting you in the morning, if it is just encouraging you, making you laugh, those are some positive things. Why are you always pointing at the ones that you don't like? It is time to start to motivate your child to do the right things. Guess what? Whatever you say good about your child, he wants to repeat them. And when you say bad things about your child, they want to repeat them. So learn from that. Start saying positive things about your child, then your child want to do more of those positive things. And when over time, practicing those positive things, before you know it, it becomes normal and natural that this child is a positive child. So stop speaking the negative. Put more power in speaking the positive. Thank you for watching. I'm going to continue in this series, and do not forget to subscribe.